my goodness.
What is going on this hump day?
What? Look at the...
Hi, Kayla. Hi,
Show
Debbie.
up.
Hi, Miriam.
Debbie, hello.
So many new faces and names. Heil, I hope I'm saying that right. Donna, Havis Harrison, the Jones. I love that they came in a pair. We're in a pair today.
We're in a pair today. That makes sense. Thank you so much. We see you and we appreciate you.
Yeah, Carrie F., Lori. If you're here for the first time, we're so excited. I'm Joel Gamron. I'm the head chef and founder of Homemade. This is my co-pilot, Chef Jenny.
Hello, everyone.
She's amazing. And if you've never joined us, this is like a big, giant kitchen block that we all get to stand around together and cook and party and ask questions and be together, because that's what food does. It's like the stickiest thing on earth.
Yes,
Don't you think?
stickiest. I haven't heard it phrased that way before, but I like it. Community, guys. Stuck together, instant community.
Yeah. So
sticking to you.
And if you have been here, we're so excited that you're back, and you guys know the drill. I mean, we're here for you. I mean, cooking is awesome, but you're way more awesome. And so whatever you need, if you need a new camera angle, if you have a question, we got you, and let's talk about that. So first and foremost, the only way you can talk to Jenny and I live, which we want to do, is if you share your camera. Click the little button. Share your camera so we can see your face. Even if you're not cooking, we don't care. We just want to see your beautiful face.
Yes.
If that's not your jam and you don't want to speak up in front of thousands of people, because we do have 1,100 people in this class.
What?
We get it. We get it.
What?
We have Chef George in the chat, so you can hit up Chef George at any time. And I want to add that we also have Chef Kaya in the chat, too, who's a new chef
New
with
blood,
us.
everyone.
I think I've brought her up before, but she's a pastry chef. Get ready. Just get ready. She's super cool.
It's happening.
Yeah. But today we are making something that I'm very skeptical of, and I never thought I'd put two together, which is vegan pasta.
Oh,
I don't know.
You're missing out.
Hey, I studied in Italy. I'm a purist. I have to have the gluten situation. I've got to have the fat situation and the animal proteins. But we tried this recipe, and we were all face planted in it. Like, it is insanity. How good is this recipe?
It was forks fighting each other to get the perfect bite. It was bowl licking. It was a situation.
It was a situation, not one we're proud of, but hey, we're really excited to share this with you guys.
Depraved and void of class, but it was a situation.
Yeah, but what's really cool about these classes, if you've never joined one of our Multo classes, so we've teamed up. If you haven't seen this, what looks like it's from the Jetsons, but it really is the future of cooking, this is Multo. Unbelievable device that literally replaces up to 15 different things in your kitchen. So what Jenny and I do in these classes, and not all of our classes with Multo, although that would be kind of fun, but with these particular classes, I cook the exact same recipe that Jenny is cooking. She's cooking conventionally.
I'm cooking over here.
If you did not have the Multo. I'm cooking with the Multo, and it's really just to have a visual aid of how many dishes, how many tools, how many techniques this thing can take on. I don't know. It's always like striking to me after these classes.
I'm fresh off apartment living.
Oh, you are?
Fresh off it.
There you go.
I'm actually got more than one bedroom now, but it's too fresh. I remember the days where this is almost luxurious. Half this counter space is as much as I had.
Yeah, I lived in New York. I lived in a shoebox. And
where was this?
Exactly.
Where was this
and by the way,
we were there?
People think this is like futuristic. This is a robot. I can't do. No. People in Europe have been cooking with machines like this since the 50s. You can Google it. There are one-pot machines that do a lot of these things.
Yeah.
Nothing as good as Multo. This is not new, is my point. There are people in China. There are people in Europe. They rely on this. America, we are slow to act. So, again, watch and learn. This thing's kind of mind-blowing.
It really is.
Should we dive in?
I mean, I've been waiting.
Okay, by the way, can I just ask in the chat, is anyone else skeptical that this is going to be good? Or do you guys think this is going to be good? Because I'm telling you, there is no cream in this Alfredo. There's no cheese in this Alfredo. There's no butter in this Alfredo. Throw it in the chat. Are you skeptical, or do you think this is going to be good? I'm just curious.
Let's see. Excited. These are the words. Yeah, awesome.
Okay, good.
Why are you guys so good to us?
Everyone's optimistic.
You're so generous.
I appreciate that.
We're not gonna let you down.
Okay. So first and foremost.
First step.
The first step is you have to gather your ingredients.
Okay.
And one thing we always talk about with the Multo, and this kind of blows people's minds, it definitely blows my mind, is, yes, it looks like a blender. You can see there's steam coming off of it. We're going to be cooking from it. But the way I measured these ingredients is I used it as a scale.
Yeah, a little jelly at that
Yeah,
one.
so it's got a built-in scale. So like
jelly.
if you want to measure your mushrooms or your spinach, which it calls for, you can literally just pour it in ingredient by ingredient. It will take it to the gram. So if you're a baker, you're a sourdough person, whatever, built-in scale. So that's one appliance out the door. You have a scale right there.
I do have a scale because I'm representing all of you at home who might not have this. I have a scale, and we scale these out.
Yeah, which is great. I mean, also great, but it's just one more appliance you save.
There's a little more room.
So the next thing is you've got a pot of boiling water.
I've got a pot of boiling water.
So if you're cooking along and don't have the Multo, get a pot of boiling water on. I am using the Multo, which you can see, hopefully. It's been a while since I've got a facial.
It does feel a little like I should have a white robe on.
And by the way, I don't know if people judge guys who every once in a while get a facial. I'm telling you, one time I got a facial, I fell asleep, and they didn't wake me up. I was like 3 hours late to a dinner. And this was a long time ago on my birthday. This isn't an often thing, but we joke in my family so much about the fact, A, that I get a facial, B, that I was 3 hours late to the dinner. They're like, where'd he go? They just let me sleep in that. I was grateful, but...
Well, on behalf of the homemakers, I appreciate the vulnerability and sharing that story with us.
Hey, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I love me a facial. It's called self-care.
Self-care. So what I'm going to do
What
is...
do you got going on over
first of all,
there?
I think it's helpful for me to kind of explain what's going on here. So this machine, and I'm just going to show you guys, connects to this tablet. So you guys can see kind of there are different steps. Right now we're on the boiling step, but if I go to the next step, it will literally tell me, you can see a hand adding pasta into the Multo. So it literally tells me and guides me through this recipe step by step. So as I press go, it will then automatically know, okay, it's the onion part, so I'm going to chop. Okay, it's the pasta part, so I'm going to boil. So it knows which step I'm on. If you're more like a manual person, which I kind of am, like I like to, grind and tamp my own coffee beans and stuff like that. It has manual mode too, so you don't have to follow a recipe, but it's nice,
It's really nice.
All right, so I have boiling water, you boiling water.
I've got boiling water.
I'm gonna crack my pasta in half.
What did they say in Italy about that when you were there?
That's totally sacrilege, but I do it now because my kids can't slurp up a whole one. They choke on it. So now it's like a
my
habit.
Italian nanny, I thought I heard her when you did that. That was all right.
Hey.
To each your own.
To each your own. So pasta in, a little bit of salt.
Yeah.
Here you go, my dear.
A little salt, right?
By the way, I don't like going side by side with a Sicilian. She's Sicilian. I'm Jewish Portuguese. I feel like pasta side by side, you're going to win this battle.
It's why these are so fun and loud when we're together.
All right, so I put on the lid.
It is worth noting here, Chef Joel, this is egg-free pasta. This is a vegan dish. You can find that. If it doesn't call it out on the label, just read the ingredients. If you don't see egg, you're good to go.
It's a really good call.
Yeah, most pasta shouldn't have dairy in it. It's eggs, the big one, the difference between being vegan or not.
Yeah, and I think, we're going to talk about a lot of these key ingredients that make this vegan kind of Alfredo what it does. The recipe is created by Multo. They have a chef. His name is Jamie.
We love him.
We love him. We want to somehow rope him into homemade. We love him. But Jamie, he's a beast. He lives on the other side of the world. He writes all the recipes for Multo.
Yeah.
So when you buy Multo and it comes with this tablet, Jamie and his team develop these recipes. So this is his recipe. It comes loaded, but when you get it, 5 new recipes or something ridiculous a week get loaded onto this.
You can't keep up with it
So you
at
just
the volume
get
that
this
you're
constant
getting.
stream of recipes, which is kind of amazing.
And not just a volume, we're getting high quality recipes. We're madly in love with Jamie. He's brilliant recipes.
So the next step is we just grab a giant bowl. So just grab a giant bowl at home. Doesn't have to be a glass one. And we're going to throw our spinach in there. And what's interesting about spinach and I think arugula and a lot of these tender greens, we're not going to cook this. The pasta is going to come out hot. That's going to go on top of these, and the pasta and the steam and the heat from the pasta is going to wilt these. So I love this trick. I do this with rice. I do this when I have proteins and I want to have a little bit of like if I had a hot piece of salmon, I might just rest it on here and let the salmon wilt the greens. Because I'll tell you one thing, when you over wilt greens, no bueno. No bueno.
I get why people don't want greens or have a visceral reaction because I think maybe they're the victims of overcooking a lot, these greens. And the quality difference, it is substantial.
Yeah.
I mean.
So, quick question for you, and I want to ask you guys in the chat. When you drop pasta in the pot or in the Multo, oil or no oil? Throw it in the chat. I don't want to hear what you say. But you add a glug of oil in there or not?
I trust them. I know they're going to get this. Let's see.
No. I love this crew.
Guys! We got to start getting a little harder with these questions. They're too good.
These need to be like, so a couple of huge misnomers around pasta. By adding oil into the pasta water, a lot of people say it helps the pasta not stick. I can tell you firsthand, I've had some sticky pasta with some oil in the water. So the key to a non-sticky pasta is to what Jenny just did and what I'm doing, which is every once in a while just to give the pasta a little bit of a agitation, just a stir, so it doesn't stick to each other.
And enough room.
And enough room. The second big thing that I just want to call out is you've heard of people who take pasta and how you know it's done.
Yeah.
And they throw it against you've heard this?
Yes, throw spaghetti against the wall.
When did that become a thing? And they're like, when it falls down, it's ready. It's like, that is so overcooked.
Are there any children of the 80s there? I felt like that was in every media pop culture thing I consumed in the 80s was pasta being thrown against the wall.
Dude, I'm telling you.
I never saw any Italian in my house do it, but it's always by taste.
It's not a thing. All right.
Not even a taste. Your soul knows when you're Italian when it's done, I feel like.
Absolutely. Okay, so pasta's boiling. Spinach is in the bowl.
Spinach in the bowl.
We're going to start with our aromatics. So you are going to chop an onion and some garlic very finely.
I am.
I don't need to chop. So, I mean, I can take my paring knife and peel the onion and garlic, which is what I'm going to do. But the Multo does do that for me. So, like, it's got a chopping feature that it's going to chop and then saute. So it just saves. I like to help it out by giving it a little bit of like a, just taking my hand and this is, by the way, when I studied in Italy, this is how the nonis cut.
Yeah.
They don't use cutting boards.
Oh, she always had a paring knife.
Yeah, just
potatoes,
up in your hand.
My mom too. It's always everything in the hand.
But I always find that a cutting board is one of the biggest things to clean.
Yeah.
And if you can kind of save yourself the cutting board, which in this recipe we're going to cut everything up in our hand, it's kind of nice.
Also, I tried to do it, and I instantly cut my hand. So I just knew, it's okay, guys. I'm here to represent the cutting board community who can't do it, who can't palm an onion in your hand.
You don't have to palm an onion.
You don't have to palm an onion.
Quickly peeling 3 cloves of garlic. One thing about garlic, you guys, in these recipes, and one thing I appreciate about Jamie, he doesn't overdo it with the garlic. There's a lot of recipes that call for like 6 cloves, 8 cloves, and you just lose the mushrooms. You lose the cheese.
I'm one of those.
You overdo it with the garlic?
I always feel like it's a suggestion. I double it.
Well,
but because I have deep respect for Chef Jamie, I know this is the right amount of garlic. And because I tasted this and it was unbelievable.
Yeah, first step is admitting you have a problem.
First step, I mean, that's okay.
Yeah.
You were vulnerable about the facial. Here I am telling you I double garlic. We're all sharing.
I love it. I want to ask the crew, I've said this before, but when you peel garlic, best way to get the smell off your hands.
Oh, yeah.
Throw it in the chat. Best way to get it off your hands. I learned this the hard way working in lots of restaurant kitchens. I would come home to either a girlfriend or a friend or whatever, and they would just instantly say, go in the other room because you smell like a kitchen. So let me see. Lemon juice, rinse in cool water.
Stainless steel. That's my trick.
Yeah, I've seen those stainless steel bars. They look like soap bars, but they're like stainless steel. So I've tried it all.
Yeah, what works for you?
Stainless steel does do a little.
A little.
Lemon has never worked for me.
Oh.
What works constantly, if you have it, it's a little bougie, but like some fresh herbs. So like a little bunch of parsley, even if they're wilted, it doesn't matter. And just rub them in your hands, and they literally just like wipe away, and your hands smell like bright and fresh. What do you do?
I've done vinegar before, to the point where you're. Because I had my hands under the pillow and I was at night and I'm like, what is that smell? And I thought it was gone and it was the garlic. And white vinegar's gotten off, but then your hands smell like white vinegar.
Yeah,
so it's a stainless steel usually around the sink. I try to
Yeah, I get that.
A little lemon. Sometimes I do this kosher salt with the lemon, like a little exfoliant.
That works. Exfoliant. I love it.
Yeah.
So
like at the spa.
Let's talk about the other ingredients that you need. And I know there's a lot going on this table, but we'll talk about it. But so we've got the spinach. You are going to need, these are basically cremini onions. Cremini mushrooms. Cremini mushrooms are like baby portobello mushrooms. You can find these anywhere now. They used to not be as easily found. They're meaty, they're robust, they're incredibly delicious. I find that they have more depth than a button mushroom.
Yeah.
They're not as like crazy as a wild mushroom, so they're, and they're not super expensive, but they're really versatile. So we called for some creminis. We've got some non-dairy milk. Any milk will work here, Jenny? What do you think?
Everything. There's so many options now.
I know.
If you can have nuts, I think cashew milk is really nice
Just
in
because
this.
it's the most creamy?
It's the creamiest. I think it mimics an Alfredo really nicely.
That's fair. Yeah.
If you can't do nuts, I think oat milk would be a really nice option. They do make gluten-free options because if you're worried about oats don't have it, but you can't have cross-contamination there. I mean, even now you can have gluten-free and whatever you want. You can make your own milk. I've heard of potato milk or something now.
Whoa. Easy with the potato milk. Easy with the potato milk.
There's rumors. I'm curious. I don't know what you guys are hearing.
We're not pushing potato milk. So here's one thing I do want to call out. When you buy whatever milk alternative you're doing for this, make sure it's not sweetened. I've made that mistake.
Yeah.
Disaster. All right. So I'm going to stop this thing a little early just because I want it to kind of stay al dente.
Yeah.
And that's the cool thing about, the Multo is you don't have to follow the instructions. You can kind of make it your own. So I'm just going to kind of pop this open. This is looking good. It might need another minute or two, but we'll see. Mine are looking pretty. Yeah, maybe another minute.
I'm most jealous that you have the little sound.
The little sound.
Yeah. It's like you're being serenaded in the kitchen. I dig that.
What I think is also really nice about this is it does take the guessing work out of it. So if you don't know if your pasta is cooked, I literally have a little timer. I'm going to make sure you guys can see this.
Or if you just get distracted.
Yeah, but you guys can see it's not telling me the temperature of the actual pan itself. So it is 212 degrees, so boiling. And I've got 1 minute and 28 seconds left for this to be cooked, which is pretty cool. So
that's pretty cool.
We're going to move on to the next stage, which is we're going to take the pasta out, and we're going to let that wilt this spinach, and then we are going to literally add our onion and our garlic into this, which is going to start sautéing it, which is kind of just nuts to go from boiling to sautéing and chopping. Those are 3 techniques. I mean, you're going to have to get out. You already have a board and knife. You're going to have to get out a sauté pan. I'm not getting out anything, which is cool. I appreciate it.
I do. It is. I'm just wistfully thinking about what my 20s in an apartment with 3 roommates would have been if I had that.
Yeah, you guys would have fought over this.
I could have gotten so much done.
Yeah. Okay.
Man, so much time.
Let's see.
Are you doing it?
You can drain. I am 30 seconds away, but I think you're there, right? Or you think you need...
I'll be a little lonely doing it by myself.
Okay, we'll do it at the same time.
I guess I could start.
No.
Let's see.
How are we doing out there in the ether, George? Any questions? Oh, Kaya. Kaya, any questions?
Not much questions right now.
Not much questions.
You guys are so quiet. Wait, can you tell us what your favorite plant milk is? If you guys have cooked at all with plant milk, what do you guys like to use out there? What's everyone buying?
Good question.
I'm kind of curious. Informal poll.
I love it. All right.
Coconut milk?
Definitely let us know. So guys, check this out. As you're letting us know that, hopefully you can see, but this spatula that comes with the actual Multo has a little hook on it, and it's kind of cool. You can fish out the basket of pasta.
That's cool.
It's kind of sweet, right? For potatoes,
that's fun.
For poaching salmon, for all those things. It's just safe, easy, and I'm just going to literally take this puppy, and I'm going to... Did you already release yours?
I did.
Okay. Beautiful.
I love this trick. It's such a great trick.
So what I'm going to do is now, as I'm going to literally pick up the Multo, I'm going to drain it. And at this point, this is now a stove, something I'm going to actually saute in. So I'm going to literally go with my onions and garlic, which are not chopped, right in. A little bit of olive oil.
Yeah, and I'll add olive oil. I got a new pan over here. I'm adding olive oil to it.
Beautiful. And I'm literally going to just go to the next step. And the Multo knows, okay, onions and garlic are in there. Let's get cracking.
Let's get cracking.
So while that's cooking, I want to talk about some of these kind of crazy ingredients that we have going on. So listen, I know this crew cooks, so I'm not going to like talk down to you guys. A lot of us know what miso is, what tahini is, what nutritional yeast is, but a lot of us don't. So I just want to take a minute and just like call it out when you go buy this. So tahini, let's talk about this first. Tahini is basically peanut butter, but with sesame seeds. Enough said. It is ground up sesame seeds until you get a really nice, thick and creamy paste like this. And it's interesting. My kid goes to preschool, and it's like a nut-free.
Can't have any peanuts.
Can't have any peanuts. So we send him with like tahini and jelly sandwiches, and he loves them.
I love that.
Yeah, even though there's probably sesame allergies out there too. But anyways, so that's tahini. Anything to add on tahini?
No, it's just not a savory ingredient. It's really, like, think of sesame and all sorts of baked goods. So anywhere you could put peanut butter, you can put tahini.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's worth having a jar, and it's not just for this recipe.
No.
You have it, you'll use it again.
But I make it in salad dressings.
Yeah.
Like we did a tahini Caesar a couple of days ago that kicked butt.
Really good.
Really good. All right, so the next ingredient that you're going to need to find is miso, which looks like, again, peanut butter, but it's like a paste.
Paste.
Do you want to talk about what miso is?
Yeah, miso is fermented soybean paste. It is Japanese. So very popular miso soup you can get at Japanese restaurants. I think that's maybe where most people might know it from and not know that it comes in a paste. That's where the soup is from this paste. And there's different varieties. There can be different flavors and based on what it's fermented, but it's always soybeans, the big one. You can get red too. So for this recipe, what you're looking for is white. And I'd say white is the most standard.
Yeah.
Again, we're talking about tahini. We're talking about miso. These are instant umami. Umami is the flavor on your tongue that's savory. So when you're not using meat, you're not using dairy, where are we getting our umami from? So that's what's so smart about this recipe. We're having things with just really tons of depth of flavor.
It's an umami bomb.
It's an umami bomb.
All right, so on this, I've got about another minute and 35 before this starts kind of doing its thing.
And I'm sauteing over here in my pan. Got my garlic and onions going away.
I love it. I actually forgot to chop mine.
I think yours are golden. But how great is that you can just push a button and it chops it?
It is kind of amazing. You can hear it.
Yeah. Hey-o.
Kind of amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
No big deal. Just chopped without doing anything. The last ingredient I want to talk about real quick before we then add all of our ingredients, nutritional yeast. Do you want to go into that?
Yeah, it's just basically dried yeast. Absolutely nothing
so
to
good.
it.
I put it on popcorn.
It's huge. It's life-changing on popcorn.
It
If you
really
haven't
is
had it on
life-changing on
popcorn.
popcorn.
It's definitely, I felt like something you can only find like at a health food store maybe 10, 15 years ago.
Yes.
It's everywhere now.
Yes.
Look in your spice section.
I couldn't agree more with
Look
that.
in your baking section. It's super popular. So many mainstream brands make it. It's just flavor. It's instant flavor.
Yeah.
And it's also can be good for you. You can
it's
get vitamin D for you. It's really healthy.
Really healthy. So 3 ingredients that are a little bit wonky and a little bit out there: the tahini, the miso, and the nutritional yeast, all which really makes this round, this deep, this rich, and really takes the kind of the dairy and the the normal protein element out of it. All right, so we are sautéing here. This smells incredible. We're in a good place. How's yours smell?
This is my favorite smell in the
This
world.
is so good. Garlic and onions.
Garlic and onions, olive oil.
Come on.
Come on.
So I'm going to literally stop here. I just want to make sure I can show everyone what's happening. So you want to hold yours up to camera so people can see? So here's what's happening in mine. Here's
mine.
what's happening in Jenny's. So same thing.
Same party.
Just
different
she's
locations.
She's going to have way more dishes than I am.
All right.
Just saying.
Can't resist it, guys. He can't help himself.
No. So
Debbie knows. She knows you. She's shaking her head. You can't help it, Debbie.
All right. So now it's just everyone in the pool. So this next step says literally, so we're going to add our milk.
Plant milk.
Our plant milk. Thank you. Beautiful. We are going to add our yeast. Everything.
Everything.
So yeast.
Miso.
Miso.
We got a little flour here just to
Thicken it up.
thicken it up.
You could absolutely use 1-to-1 gluten-free flour
Absolutely.
if you're GF. We're adding the tahini in. One thing about tahini, if you get really thick tahini,
Yeah,
you can
that's happened
always
to me.
add a little hot water to it or microwave it for like 10 seconds and it will loosen it up.
Kind of just like natural peanut butter. If you get that natural peanut butter, that's the oil on top.
All right, and then lemon juice, salt and pepper. I'm gonna do half the lemon now, and maybe a little half later, just in case, so we can adjust.
Lemon might seem a little like, why are we adding lemon in here? And I understand that instinct, but acid. We have all so much savoriness. We need a little acid to kind of counteract it, brighten it up.
Yeah, I mean, listen, fettuccine Alfredo, I can tell you right now, is not a traditional Italian dish. So if you want to add a little lemon to it to pep it up, go for it. No one's going to call you not authentic. Any questions out there, Kaya? How are we feeling? Kaya, we good? George, we good?
There's people asking about nutritional yeast. What is it, and what's the difference from normal yeast?
What is nutritional yeast?
And what's the difference between that and normal yeast?
Yeah, so normal yeast is dormant. It's actually still alive. It's ready. You warm it up in a little water, a week's right up. It's ready to lift up your bread. But nutritional yeast is actually deactivated. So it's dead, it's dried, it's really concentrated. So that's the difference. It's made into flakes. So you're getting that flavor that the yeast would normally give you, and it's kind of stopped in its tracks and ground up. So that's the difference. So it is not a replacement. You can't take your instant yeast that you bake bread and switch it out. It actually has to be these dried flakes.
I'm glad you said that, because if I didn't know that, I would have done that. So that's
You
a good
would.
call.
I mean, I think that's fair.
No, it's
a
totally
little
fair.
confusing.
They're both called yeast.
Yeah.
They're both
Why
called
not?
yeast. All right, so at this point, everyone's in the
Mushrooms.
pool. What's happening inside the Multo is it's spinning those things, right? The miso, it's thinning that out. The tahini, it's warming it up. What's happening inside of Jenny's pan? Jenny, can you hold it up to camera so everyone can
Please.
see? So what's happening is you can see hers is thickening up into a beautiful sauce, which is great.
Beautiful.
But what you see is tons of lumps. And I'm not going to get as many lumps because I'm going to literally blend mine right after I do this in the Multo. What Jenny's going to have to do is bring out a stick blender. So yet again, another thing. And I can tell you right now, I love a blended soup. I love a mashed potato blend. I love all those things.
Yeah.
Pain in the butt to clean that, add it back. It's just a lot. So this is really, really nice. This is a perfect example of like, I'm cooking it in here, I'm blending it in here, I cook the pasta in here. It's like all happening in one, and that is what Multo is all about. And that is why people from all over the world just flock to this. I think a lot of people, and we've done a couple of classes now, are a little bit sticker like, whoa. Because it's like, you know, I'll tell you right now, it's not cheap, right? I mean, it's just below $1,000. There's a couple things I want to call out. First, if you use a code from us, it's GIFT with HM, all caps. GIFT with HM on their website. You get $80 off. And there's a Black Friday deal happening too, right?
That's huge. $80 off is huge. Black Friday promo, everyone. You get an extra Multo bowl for free. That extra bowl, this is the bowl that Chef Joel's cooking everything in. The bowl alone is worth over $200. So that is
that's
huge.
So it's like a $300 plus savings.
I'm instantly thinking, I know first people go holidays, but if you know anyone who's graduating in the next couple months, what a great gift to kick someone off in their life with.
I'm just telling you, but listen, again, it's a price tag. We get it. We want to acknowledge it. But when it saves you 15 different cooking appliances, how much would you spend on each one of those appliances? $200, $300? Enough said. Mic drop. All right.
Are you blending already?
We're heating up here. We can stop. We can stop. Are you in a good place?
Well, I'm thinking about I want to blend this.
You want to blend? Well, I think let's blend it up then. Let me take a look at mine.
Are you at that stage?
Yeah, it looks really good. All right, let's blend. You ready? So my next step in here, I just gotta.
I got a handheld blender, little handheld blender over here.
And I'm literally going to just press start.
Also known as an immersion blender.
I'm literally just gonna go like this. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
We're waiting 20 seconds. This thing is powerful. Ooh, it smells good.
It does smell.
It really
it smells
really good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Automatically shuts down. I don't have to touch a thing. Let's just kind of compare and contrast so everyone can see. I know it's kind of hard because we're spread out side by side here, but I want everyone to kind of just see the difference and what's going on. So here's what's happening inside the Multo, and I'll tip it up for everyone to see. So, again, I'm not this is not a competition.
You can say it.
But hard. You didn't get all the way to the bottom. There's still some lumps going on.
Lumps.
This is smooth as smooth can be.
Yeah.
And whipped almost, because this thing is super powerful. So, at this stage...
Still
I'm not knocking it, yo. I'm not knocking it.
I just feel like I have to represent all of us.
So, we've got some shrooms. We've got some mushrooms. We've got these creminis. I want to ask the group out here, and a lot of you know this who've been with Homemade for a long time. If you haven't, please know I've gotten into some major bouts with some previous chefs who've been on the Homemade roster about how you clean your mushrooms.
Oh,
throw it in the chat.
spicy.
When you have gritty mushrooms, how do you clean it? What's the deal? Where's your stance on this, Chef Jenny? And I will just know I'm very passionate about this.
I don't want to stick it on fight on camera, but I'm going to say it. I'm a scientist, so I follow the science. Larger mushrooms, like portobellos. If you have a mushroom that has a ton of visible gills, the gills soak up water. So you don't want to drench them under the sink because they're going to get waterlogged. And then that prevents them from getting color on them.
Totally with you on that.
So if I'm going to grill a portobello, throw it on the grill, I don't want to soak it in water.
Okay.
So for that, I will use a damp paper towel and
just wipe it.
And we've got an example here of a mushroom. If you make sure, and when you buy mushrooms, to see if they've been pre-cleaned or not. A lot of them, even though they look like they're in packaging with all the other pre-cleaned ones, they're not.
Right.
And then I just go like this. For these guys, though, they don't have a lot of gills. I'm throwing this. It's fine to throw this in the colander in the sink and rinse it off.
Did
I pass?
You passed.
Do I get to keep my job?
I will even say you went a level further, which is like the gilly ones. I would never call out. I think it's totally right because they're so porous.
Yeah.
But there's been so many experiments around can you wash your mushrooms in water? And so many people say you can't because they soak it all up.
Right.
The answer is you can. Kaya, did you have a question or something to pull? Oh, people are raising their hands. Miriam, let's go with Miriam first.
So I'm going to start slicing these.
Yeah, I'm going to start slicing too. Talk to us, Miriam.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello, Chef Jenny. Really enjoying this healthier version. I'm just wondering, because I've avoided cooking the traditional one. I'm just wondering how much less fat, do you have any idea how much less fat or cholesterol this is compared to like a traditional one?
No, I unfortunately don't have the side by side, but if you go onto CookingPal's website and look up this recipe, they do have the nutrition facts there. They've run them, so you can roughly get a sense of total calories if you're concerned about that, Miriam.
I'm not concerned about calories, but mostly just like the fat. And so I've avoided doing a lot of the ones with butter and so.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely,
I really like
me
this
too.
version.
Yeah,
That's
you're
cool.
definitely saving. This is definitely going to save you on calories because we're not using saturated fat. Saturated fat comes from animal fat, so we're already in a good place there.
So with you, Miriam, and I'll also say my wife has a really tough time with dairy. And so, and she loves like rich French food, like potatoes au gratin.
Yes.
Like
Escargot and butter.
You know.
You know, Miriam. You know.
And so, the answer is these are really great recipes that are starting to come out. And again, Chef Jamie and his team just do a killer job.
Yeah, Father Time is cruel. I don't know what happened. You hit past 30. It's something about dairy. I don't know what happened. No one warns you either. They don't tell you it's going to happen. You have ice cream and you realize that the world's turned against you. And so I love fettuccine Alfredo. So that's why I was so excited for when I don't have to go grab the lactate for something.
It's great.
I mean, it's a win. That's a small wins. That's what wins look like for me now.
I think it's a big win. I got your mushroom board.
Thank you, Miriam. We appreciate you so much. That was a great question.
Thank you.
We have any other questions out there? I felt like Debbie had her hand raised. Debbie? Yeah? No, you're good?
Good?
All right.
All right. So first and foremost, just to be really clear, we sliced the mushrooms. You obviously used your board, which is cool. I just did mine in the hand. You can crumble the mushrooms.
Yeah.
I like that look. That's homemade. That's rustic. You guys know me by now. Perfect little sliced mushrooms done by a machine. Looks like a machine did it. I like things imperfect. That's my vibe. So I'm adding the mushrooms back into the Multo. You're adding your mushrooms back into the sauce.
I'm adding my mushrooms, and I just want to call out, because I don't have a lid on mine like yours does. My sauce is looking a little thick. I saved my pasta water. I just grabbed some of my pasta water to thin it out a little.
That's nice. That's a good call out.
Nothing wrong with that. If you look like I like it really thick, but I want enough moisture in my pan here for my mushrooms to cook, so I just added a little pasta water.
I have to just say out loud, because I do this, in these Multo classes, I feel insecure because I'm literally sitting here leaning on this for 90% of the class while I'm watching Jenny like stir, adjust, and do this thing. And I'm like, yeah, that looks, I chose this job, and
you're definitely in a
maybe one day we'll let you have the Multo and you can watch me kind of running through everything.
You're definitely in a supervising role right now.
So when we saw this recipe, and if Chef Jamie's on, I want to call out, we were a little bit surprised because in most recipes, you want to saute mushrooms and add it into the pasta. This you're not sauteing. You are dropping the mushrooms raw in the sauce, letting that cook for 4 minutes. And what's really interesting about that is the mushrooms kind of just drink. And they literally release their water to make more sauce, umami bomb, to Chef Jenny's pot.
Umami bomb.
But they just soak in this incredible plant-based sauce. And that's what's happening right now. So you just give it that last little push. And what we're going to do is we have our spinach here, and we have our fettuccine that we cooked. You can see it's kind of beautifully wilted.
Yeah.
A lot of people freak out when you cook pasta that it sticks together like this.
That's fine.
Not a big deal if you're going to add a sauce to it or add this to a sauce layer. That's what will loosen it up. If obviously you're going to serve it like this and not add a sauce to it, then I would hit it with a glug of oil or something to give it a little looser.
And also the moisture, that spinach has a lot of water in it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of releasing a little bit of it. And
keeping it hydrated.
Kind of keeping it hydrated.
Yeah. Last thing I want to talk about is plant-based cheese, which we call for in this recipe because, I don't know, pasta without any sort of Parmesan feels like blasphemy to me. I think there should be a law against that. But, listen, this is plant-based Parmesan cheese. Usually it's made out of nuts.
Yeah.
And then cured
or soy.
Aged or soy. And it gives it that funk that cheese has. Is this Parmesan cheese? I want to call it out. No, not to me. But it's really good. It's salty.
Savory. It's salty
round.
and savory.
Yeah. And for a recipe like this, I don't really miss it. Everything else is happening in the pan.
Well, again, umami. Mushrooms have a ton of umami. So we talked about how they're soaking up the sauce. They're also releasing a lot of flavor into the sauce as 100%. They cook.
So guys, I do want to call out real quick, and I'm going to kind of bring this over here for a sec. Well, let's make sure you guys can see this. But the 15 functions, the 15 things that the Multo does that you don't have to go buy or deal with. Saute, steam, knead, weigh, chop, whisk, grind, stir, mix, slow cook, grate, sous vide. It literally sous vides. You can set it to the exact temperature. So again, I don't care if you are a bread maker. I don't care if you are looking to eat more healthy and poach things. I don't care if you want to, there's a steaming basket that goes on top of here. You can steam things like proteins, potatoes. It does not matter. You're a busy parent. You are a project doer. You are a really experienced chef. I'm telling you, this is a new approach. Don't knock it until you try it. And it saves you 15, not 5, 15 different things. Again, and this is not about competition. We always joke that it is because it's Jenny and I. But you do have more dishes. You've been running around, and I'm just standing here. That is the difference. That is the difference. If you are looking for a little bit more ease in the kitchen, literally Multo is your one-stop shop, and it just beeped.
Sous vide alone is not a cheap. Well, we love a sous vide here, but that alone, it's a slow cooker and a sous vide.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll go top down here so you guys can really see kind of what's going on. So Chef Jenny over there. You can kind of tell by my Shrek hands. I'm over here. All right, so in we go. You want to go in with yours?
Oh, yeah, I do.
We'll go kind of go same time so you guys can kind of see.
1, 2, 3.
And like, would you tell the difference? I don't think so.
How would you describe that smell? Right?
Smells,
it's so savory.
Yeah, it smells
like,
toasty. Like,
yeah.
it's everything you want on like a cold day. This looks really good. And al dente, too.
Yeah.
And the fact that this is plant-based is kind of mind-blowing to me right now.
But look how creamy the sauce is. That is wild, right?
It actually is really beautiful. This looks really good.
And it clings to the pasta really nicely.
It does. Another winner, Chef Jamie. All right, let's try
little
noodle.
Little nudes. I apologize for everyone calling it a nudes. I as soon as I heard it.
I'm glad you apologized.
Okay, as soon as I said it.
I need a towel. That is, and I'm not kidding you. And I just want to be like
really
real
good.
here. And just,
oh my gosh.
whether you think I'm hype or not, I want to be real. It's better than Alfredo.
It's so good.
That's like, go get cream, boil it down with butter. I put it side by side. You will choose this. I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
So good.
Do you want to plate this up? I was going to add lemon juice. I don't think it needs it. You think it needs it?
Mine doesn't.
All right.
Well,
I don't think it really needs it, to be honest.
What I feeling right now, super happy about, I'm seeing all this green. Usually when I do pasta, I'm like, oh, I need to have a salad or something. There's no veggies. All the veggies are in.
Yeah, you got your mushrooms. I also love the fact that he didn't saute the mushrooms.
Just saves me time.
Yeah, and it works.
It works.
I mean, we were skeptical, but I might. I'm kind of going to steal that idea.
Would your boys eat this? You got little guys at home.
My boys would devour this. This is so them. I can't even begin to talk about it. This looks amazing. Guys, I want to call it again. We've been getting some questions about the offer. So first and foremost, go to, so CookingPal is the overall name of the brand. Multo is the name of this actual appliance. Go to their website, cookingpal.com. Use the promo, and we're going to put the link in the actual chat, but promo's gift with HM, all capitalized. It's 80% off. And again, you get a free bowl with this Black Friday promo. That's worth $210. So it's almost $300 that you're saving, which is kind of rad. I mean, kind of rad. It's insanely rad. All right, cheese?
We doing cheese?
I don't know. They look awesome. I'm always so proud of this moment with you and I. I'm more proud of you that you were able to keep up with the Multo.
I know. I mean,
you have the hard job. I've got the easy job.
I mean, I feel like I need a chair or something. I was hustling
let me get you a
way more.
fork.
Can you give me a, please?
All right. Fork for you, fork for me.
I've been waiting all
Let's
day.
try this out.
All day. I knew what was happening.
You were excited.
Everyone, segment was in the air in the office.
Why is that so freaking good? What is with that? I'm telling you. I have to say.
I'm doing a happy pasta shimmy.
By the way, Jenny develops all my recipes here at Homemade. She is our recipe developer. Like, she is the one. And she's newer. So it's not a knock on her or any of our past chefs. In 2.5 years of running Homemade, this is one of my top 5 recipes we've ever made.
This is just one of the top 5 I've come up with. I'm so happy.
I'm just telling you, like Chef Jamie, big kudos. It works. It's round. It's seasoned. It's everything you want. And the fact that there's no dairy in this or anything that's not plant-based is just shocking.
I know. I mean, love food and enjoy it, but there's always a little, when you see cream, you see butter come into it, there's a little pain of guilt, just a tinge. You're like, ooh,
yeah, this
I need to go have a smoothie or something. I could eat a vat of this. I feel really good about this. Might run 5K after this. I mean,
I won't.
That's how good this is.
I won't go plop myself in front of the TV.
I'm just eating now. I've forgotten that over 1,000 people are watching. I'm stuffing my face right now.
I love butter. You guys, first of all, we want to take some questions. I also want to call out, we're really excited to announce and start announcing that we've never released this ever in Homemade, but in December, on December 15th, and we're going to start talking about this more, we are releasing our first Homemade course. An incredible gift you guys can give away. It is a course that we tested our recipes. We spent so much time putting this together, and it's called Homemade in a Hurry. And what this course is you buy it, you have it forever, you can watch it on demand, and if you are busy, whether you have kids, errands, a busy job, I don't care what's going on in your life, you are trying to still cook from scratch, but do it in a pinch, this will change your absolute life. I'm teaching it, but again, Chef Jenny helped really develop the curriculum, and it's not about the recipes. Recipes are awesome. You will love the recipes. It is about the techniques and the approach. So again, keep an eye out. Again, December 15th, we'll be emailing, we'll be talking about it. If you're interested, you could ask us questions, but we thought it would be a really cool time to release it. And again, we thought it would be a really cool way to gift your friends, gift yourself.
Dinner in under 30.
Yeah.
Scratch me,
Everything
delicious
will be under
food
30.
in under 30.
It's going to be amazing. You guys, that about does it. I want to thank Multo and the whole team at CookingPal. We've really, really loved our partnership. We've got 3 more recipes with them coming up, including a spinach stuffed gnocchi that I am teaching the week of Thanksgiving. So if you were looking for a dish, whether that like your friends or family are coming in right before Thanksgiving, or you're going to be turkeyed out after Thanksgiving and you're going to have leftover mashed potatoes, you're going to want to stick around for that.
Yeah.
Again, totally free.
Stuffed gnocchi. Gnocchis that are
handmade
stuffed
gnocchi.
with cheese and spinach inside.
It's to die for.
Delicious.
Any
And
last
mushroom
questions?
risotto. We have a mushroom risotto class coming up with them as well.
Love a risotto. Love a
Good
risotto.
stuff.
But I
Any
think I love
questions?
this.
Anything?
George, Kaya, what do we got to hit?
Thank George and Kaya, everyone.
The best.
Kaya's making our first appearance on Tuesday, everyone. So come on back.
I love it. What's that class?
We are making a pumpkin slab pie. Yes, I'll be there. Kyle will be there. You guys should be there. We want to see you.
Pumpkin slab pie. I'm so over pumpkin pie. I'm sorry. The slab
Whoa,
pie.
whoa.
No.
Okay.
I don't like just normal pumpkin pie. It's not enough crust. It's not enough.
Let it out. Let it
The
out.
pumpkin slab pie is so balanced, so great for a group. You bring this thing out. It's such a new look at pumpkin pie. We love this recipe. So it's going to be Jenny and Kaya, both pastry chefs. Unbelievable, perfectly in time for the big tea day.
I feel like you really going to release the valve on everyone venting to whether team pumpkin pie or not. Like, that's a really hot topic to bring right at the end of class. But
Hey, I'm calling it out.
wow. All right.
I'm going out. You guys go visit Cooking Pro. Oh, one more question?
Yes, please.
Someone's asking if those courses you were talking about are giftable.
Yes.
Yes.
The courses are totally giftable, and we'll give you guys all those details in the email. Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, guys. Well, Cooking Pal, Multo, we love you. And the rest of you homemakers, we love you so much. If you're new, welcome to the family. And if you've been around, thrilled to have you. We will catch you next time. See you tomorrow.